So hopefully you now have some useful tools when you're improvising in terms of harmony, scales, triads, those notes that make your playing sound interesting. But there's a whole nother part to playing music that we haven't even touched yet, and that's the topic of rhythm. And lead guitar is no different than rhythm guitar when it comes to importance of good rhythm. And there's a lot of different aspects of rhythm, but one I want to highlight right here is the simple concept of triplets. That is very useful when you're playing 8 notes or 16 notes lead stuff and you get bored of that scale sounding run. Then you can throw in a triplet, and that will really break up the sound for the listener and give you some space to think of what you're going to do next. And triplets is simply, we use three notes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that way. So in the space of 1, we have 3. And it's a cool way to come up with fresh ideas. And let's have a listen to what it sounds like when I play over a track in E. I'm going between an E7, a G7, and an A7. On each chord, it stays fairly long on each chord. So it's easier to get the boring sound of just using the pentatonic or the minor blues scale. So by throwing in a triplet here and there, we really improves the sound of your lead playing. Let's have a try. So I try to highlight those triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you see, it sort of gives you a little bit more space in there and makes it more interesting. So now let's try and play triplets twice as fast to see what that sounds like. So instead of playing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, we're going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that sound just changes sound a bit, but it's a cool effect. So let's try that. So hopefully you could hear the difference there. I played a little bit of the first triad as well to contrast that. It breaks up a little bit of that wandering lead playing, that you can just repeat the triplet. And it doesn't matter so much which note you use either. The cool effect is the triplet in itself, the rhythm. So it's a great tool to use over double stops. So let's do that next. So take advantage of the power of triplets to break up your lead playing. Incorporate them in different ways in terms of where you apply them, if it's double stops or just one note that you're hanging on, or you play a run through a scale. But it's a good way to break out of a rut when you're playing lead guitar.